Wonderful. Good morning, friends, and welcome to the Spirit Society of Virginia. It's so good to be with all of you here today. We're going to start by reading a message from the book Our Daily Bread, psychographed by the Spiritual Manual, through the loving hands of the medium Francisco Cândido Xavier. The message number 109, 3 musts. Thus I say to you, ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door shall be opened to you. Luke chapter 11, verse 9. Ask, seek, knock. These 3 musts recommended by Jesus were not spoken without a special meaning. In the tangle of the struggles and deaths of the earthly experience, it is crucial for people to learn to ask for a pathway to freedom from the old chains of suffocating conventions, sterile prejudices, empty devotions, and unbreakable habits. It is necessary to vehemently and decisively desire to get out of the dark thicket in which most individuals have lost sight of the eternal interests. Immediately thereafter, it is imperative to seek. Seeking consists of selective effort. The field is loaded with inferior attractions, some of which are adorned with luring appeal. It is crucial to find a worthy and sanctified way to act. Many run after dangerous mirages, like moths fascinated with the light of the fire. They come from far away, get too close to the flame, and consume the blessing of their body. It is imperative to learn to seek what is truly good. Once the spiritually constructive path is established, the time comes to knock on the door of spiritual growth. Without the mallet of methodical effort and without the chisel of goodwill, it is extremely difficult to sculpt the resources of the corporeal life into luminous works of divine art meant for spiritual happiness and eternal love. It is not enough, therefore, to pray without direction, to seek without examination, and to act without a lofty objective. Let us ask the Lord to free us from primitive animality. Let us seek the realm of sublime spirituality and work for our place within it in order to make ourselves faithful instruments of the divine will. Ask, seek, knock. This trilogy of Jesus holds a special meaning for students of the gospel in every era.
Let us all unite ourselves in prayer. Prayer is food for us, food for the soul. Let us feel in our hearts the presence of God, loving and kind, so generous and provident. Dear Father, Mother God, we would like to express our deepest gratitude for allowing us to be here. We know that your messengers work here in the Spirit Society of Virginia 24/7, and they count on us to fulfill your designs through their loving administration. May this educational and therapeutic service. Provide us with everything that we need, the nourishment for the mind, the remedy for the bodies, rebalancing us as we feel your loving presence everywhere we go. Thank you, God. We ask for your guidance, without which we don't know the north of our lives. We feel your protection, always loving, and we thank you for granting us the permission to be here and to co-create this moment with you. In your name and love, and so be it. All right, so babies, parents can go to their room. And our beloved children and teens, preteens, however you want to name yourselves, you have your rooms prepared to play. It's play day today. You can go. Yes, you can go. Hey. Sorry, friends. We're just making adjustments there. Yeah, it's gonna be like I would be. Anything's possible these days, huh? So before we go to our main topic, Daisy's gonna come and talk about something that it's an adjustment in our service to the homeless. We're no longer going to the shelter because we have a license by the city of Washington, D.C. to serve the beggars and the homeless in D.C. So every Saturday at 11 a.m., that's how it begins. We set up at 10:30, but we serve at 11. We'll be there in DC, teams of us, and we need everybody to help. We can't come to a spiritist center and ask, knock, only for ourselves, right? Felipe read it. We need at least once a month to get out of our comfort zone, join forces, and go there. Because if the good spirits say, oh, really, you only mind yourself, why are they going to help us if we don't care about others who are suffering more than us? So it's a must. It's a must. You know what must means, right? Must means obligation. At least once a month, we have to go there. Next Saturday, we'll have two teams in DC. One giving a workshop because we have a Spiritus Nucleus there in DC. And another one serving the beggars and the homeless. We were there Saturday. It was super hot. So we made adjustments to make sure everybody's gonna be safe. We found a place where there's shade or else. So Daisy prepared a beautiful presentation explaining the whole 9 yards. And this is so important that before we begin our therapeutic part, we're gonna talk about this, okay? Right, Daisy? So let's be patient, please.
Okay, friends. So, as Vanessa mentioned, we are truly inviting everyone to join us in this beautiful task force. As Vanessa said, the goal for us to be there is to serve. That is the main purpose. We already received so much. So, it's just an hour and a half. It's so quickly from beginning to end. So we count on everyone's support. So we meet at the McPherson Square Park. If you have never been there, it's metro accessible. There's parking. So there's many different ways of transportation you can use. It's right in the heart of Washington, D.C. It's actually sad to say that we are about 2 blocks away from the White House, and there's so many people in need. So the adjustments that we made, the first one of them, this is a snapshot of the park. If you've been to the park, we used to be at the center. There is a statue there, but we're moving our service to the northwest corner of the park. Just some things to pay attention. 15th Street, you can see, runs in both of sides of the park, in different directions. Right here on this side, that's where there are the bus stops. If you are where the bus stops are, you need to go to the other side. We're gonna be on this corner. There's a big tree right there at the corner, and we need to be under the shade of the tree. It's also important because right there is in the back, there is a chain that goes around the park. And that chain, if we make our service right next to that chain, provides us another layer of protection because we want to make sure that people are coming in, receiving the food, and then leaving, and they're not coming to ask food either from behind or coming from either side. We have a picture to show you to illustrate more. So important reminders. First, everyone needs to wear the SSVA t-shirt. You can purchase them here with Felipe in our bookstore. And this is so important because as soon as we arrive at the park, people see us, they see our t-shirt, and they already recognize our group. So we are all the same. We need to be there promptly at 10:30 a.m. sharp. Why? We need the whole team to be there at the same time before we get anything out of the cars. Because there's a lot of homeless there. They already know people are coming. If you park your car and you open your trunk, they're gonna come. They will all come and start agglomerating around you. So get there a few recommendations. Get there a few minutes before 10:30. Park your car if you're coming by metro. At 10:30, everyone gets together. All volunteers are there. Once all volunteers are there, the first things we get out of the cars are the tables and the line poles. Once we circle the area that we're going to serve, you set up the tables. Then at that point, the volunteers in groups of least of 2 goes to the car, get the food, the water, the tea, and come back. This way, there's no problems, everyone's safe. Once everything is set up, we do the initial prayer. and we start the service. 100 people seem a lot, but yesterday it took us 30 minutes, so quickly. Once all the food is served, we clean everything up, we gather everything, we do a final prayer, and we go. It's important, we're there to serve. We're not there to fraternize, we're not there to socialize with our other volunteers. We arrive there to serve. So our focus is in the ones that are in need. The mentors always remind us that the food is quote unquote an excuse for us to be there. Of course, they need the material food, but most importantly, they need the nourishment of the soul. And as we are there, the spirit mentors use our team to help everyone at the park. So they're doing rescue works. And we see in the mediumistic meetings later during the week, the spirits who are being rescued. So it's very important that we go there, we pray before we leave our home, and we pray while we are there. So this is just to give you a visual representation of our setup. This right here are the line posts. So as you can see, we circle everything around. We just leave 2 openings at the beginning, at the end. There's always at least one, hopefully 2 people there organizing the line, giving the hand sanitizer and the affirmations. And then we have volunteers. The first, we start with the water. There will be a bag there, a plastic bag, optional in case people need it. A lot of them already have bags so that they can put everything in. Then we'll serve the tangerines, the hot dogs, the cornbread. We made a slightly adjustment to be easier to deliver the cornbread. We asked that whoever is responsible for taking the cornbread to individually wrap the pieces in aluminum foil. This way, it can be easily giving out, and we don't need to be cutting and putting napkins, some of them want in cups, so it will be easier that way. We have the iced tea. For those who are taking the iced tea, you can buy the jugs in Walmart or whatever is your store preference and take and serve in the cups. And then we put the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches at the end so that people are not coming in through the back end asking for more tea. So if they want, it's only one of each. And then if they want more, they need to get in line again. Carlos.
I see about 6 gallons.
Thank you, Carlos. So 6 of those gallons for 100 people.
And also the reason why we thought about individually wrapped is to diminish the temptation. Because they see that beautiful cornbread, they want 2, 3, 4. If they don't see, like, oh, thank you, they go. They don't come back. Okay. Yeah.
You have to have it in or have it in a plastic bag.
You can have it in a Ziploc bag too. And actually, if you go back,
Sure, yes, please, Vanessa.
It's an important observation. The poles with the restricting lines, they have to go all around this time because we see that people always come around here and literally arrest us for the tea and the cornbread. I know it can be kind of dangerous because sometimes they are very aggressive and they're like, I want it, I want another one. So to avoid it, the friction, we're going to put another one here, just leaving a space for them to leave. And we won't have anything tempting here. No iced tea close to them, no cornbread, which are the items that are really tempting for them. So they come and go. No, that's why. We tried this other way, the way we usually do, and it's very intense. So we would recommend, like, that's why we pushed things to the middle, So they can't come here and cut a line.
Where's this chain? Behind the table?
Yes, so
Yeah, the
the
chain
chain
will be
will be
here.
here.
Protecting the food.
Yeah, hopefully.
So some people say, what Vanessa put them at this? We are helping educate them. You know, if I open the car, they come and they do whatever they like. That's not good. We need to help them discipline themselves so they can go back to their lives. Why are they in the streets? Many reasons, I don't know. But certainly, they lack discipline and tolerance in life. Because everybody has a family. Why are they in the streets? And there are people there who have a home, but they come to beg. It's not our problem, but we need to help them. Say, with us, you have to wait in line, you have to be kind, say please and thank you. That's how it is. For their own good. Right? Do we need the tables? Probably not. Some people don't have tables. They open the cars and just. But does that really help? Because many times when that happens, we see they become very, even more aggressive. So when they see us coming, they already line up and wait, especially when they see the t-shirt. When they see the SSVA t-shirt, they already know the code. We don't need to do anything. It's very peaceful, very harmonious, very loving. But we're just securing for our team just so we feel less pressured, right?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Vanessa.
I have a question, the prayer session.
Yeah, so we will hold on.
Yeah, just because for the prayer table, we need enough people to do this. If we have enough people to do this, then we can add the prayer. Once a month, for sure, we'll have the prayer table. But hopefully, we have enough people to do all of this. As Daisy's father was saying, if this is wrapped up, we can have like one person here, one person here, and maybe, one person here giving this and this. So we can diminish the number of people we have. Okay.
You need at least 4 people.
Yeah,
This
it's, yes.
Is it possible to then also individually serve the tea, so they just have to revel instead of serving on this body, like having a strategy?
The problem is, it might sound fun, but if you put the table in the cup on the table ready, they will, most of them won't take it. They will look at you and say, I want this one. It is sometimes, you can't even explain. And you, why? Well, I want the fresh one. What can I say?
Very smart.
Very smart.
Well, it doesn't make any difference because you put there 10 seconds, before they come in. So it doesn't make any difference. Just their perception sometimes it's so awkward that you wouldn't believe. You've been there.
Yeah.
You have
That's why I asked, but I didn't know that part.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. And something else that's important, the person that is here, hopefully we have at least 2 people helping with the line. But as Vanessa said, it's very important that we train them discipline and to wait. If we just let them go, then we're gonna have 50 people trying to go in at once. So we need a person who are here to hold the line, to talk to them. Is an opportunity, right, Felipe, to say good morning, to give them an affirmation, because we don't want to overwhelm the other volunteers who are serving the food. So we create a slow pace so that they learn how to wait and there's order in the service, right? So it's very important.
Can I say something? Be firm and kind.
Firm and
Firm and kind.
se oferece, tem alguns que não gostam, do hot dog, não gostam daquilo, né? Então se oferece,
So some people, they, you offer like the hot dog or the peanut butter and jam, and they say, no, I don't want it. That's okay. But then if they say, oh, I don't want the peanut butter and jelly, can I get 2 hot dogs? No, just 1 hot dog. And if you want more, you come back. So here's the sign up. We'll pass this around. Ideally, we will need at least 7 volunteers. The reason why is we need a solid group there because it's not only serving the food, it's organizing the line, is staying there sometimes, helping out, organize if people need help. So we're asking for the minimum of 7 volunteers up to 10. When you sign up, there are 3 columns. You put your name, your email, but pay attention because here, as you're signing up, you're also being responsible to bring an item, to see the items. If you want to, the tangerines, the hot dogs, the iced tea, and that's what you're responsible for to bring on the day of the service. Also, as you're signing up, if this is your first time, or even if you participate in the service before, but you have never signed up our consent form, right here in the back of the sign-up sheet, there is a form. It just goes over a lot of what we already discussed here, the rules, the regulations. You can read and sign the form and leave this for us. This is very important. I think this.
So we're set up and we have to wait like we normally do till 11 o'clock.
Yesterday we started 10 minutes earlier because it was too hot. So, and we say the prayer and go. Right? So, we've been doing this for more than 10 years. So, it's not that nobody is new to that, but this time we're doing it every week together. And yesterday they were so nice and friendly. They didn't complain. They know us. Once a month we serve like chili and we serve the mashed potatoes, the green beans. Nobody complained whatsoever. And sincerely, if we were not there yesterday, nobody was there serving them anything because of the holiday. It's a holiday weekend. We were there, we are here. That's why many people are not here today as well, because people are traveling. It's a holiday weekend. But do they need it? If people doubt, do they need it? Yes. Some people say, oh, they have shelters. In the United States, the government helps so much, but what people don't know is that when there is mental illness, you can't tell people, stay in a shelter, stay in your family's home. Mental illness drives people to the streets. The good spirits, they come, we say a prayer. They are already working there. Dr. Preserve de Menezes' team is working. And we're there serving a very simple meal. And at the end of the day, come here. If you come one day, you have to talk to us to come because it's close to the public. To a mediumistic meeting, you hear the stories of each of those people who are there in the spiritual realm. What have they done to be in the streets, to be begging? Like, if you participate in our community, we posted a picture of a lady who is going to turn 61 next week. And we asked her, but if you have your house, why you're here? Oh, well, she didn't say it because usually they're not going to tell the truth. But she says, I come here and I mingle with them. And she said, I'll turn 61 next week and I'll cook and serve a meal here as well. So I said, okay, so we'll be together here, probably. She's going to bring her food. So just to see that it's a new world there. It's completely different. As all Carlos said, the way they see things is very different. All right?
They line up around on High Street.
They have to. Now we changed, right? Usually we're around the statue, but the hot weather is too intense, so we're going to the shade.
So they automatically line up on High Street.
Yeah, when they see us, they have eyes. One sees, they call everybody else, they line up. That's why, as Daisy said, we have to be very fast. Once everybody's together, the main cars with the stuff, they first get out. The poles and the tables, and then they're lining up, and then we start setting up. Once we're set up, they have to wait and wait and wait, and it's a good exercise for them.
We just have 2 standard tables.
Yeah. And once we see that this is working well, we'll be able to expand the prayer table to every weekend. For now, it's going to be once a month, as we usually do, just to make sure that we have the things lined up. All right? Thank you, Daisy. Thank you. All right, friends. So we apologize for those who are coming first time. We apologize that we spent so much time talking about this, but since it's a holiday weekend, we took advantage of the opportunity to share with you this. It's so good to know that we can do something together for the benefit of others too. So today, as we are here together, for those who are online with us as well, we want to talk about our inner independence. This is Independence Weekend, and it's the best holiday we can have in the United States because July 4th is it's a part of humanity's history that is enchanting. To imagine that in the 1700s, a colony that didn't have much resources said no to abuse, no to overtaxing, and stood up so strongly for itself and made a nation that today is our home. We think that the events happened solely because General George Washington wanted so, or Thomas Jefferson, or Benjamin Franklin, or John Adams, and the founding mothers as well, Abigail Adams and so many others. No. They were instruments of a new era on earth. It happened before Spiritism came to the earth. Why? Almost a century earlier. Why? What would be the impact of this event in the new America to the powerful Europe at the time? Remember, France and England were the authorities on earth. But we all know that after the revolution here, the Revolution War in the United States, France also became a new nation. If France helped us with their army, General Lafayette and others came to join forces with General George Washington to fight for the formation of a new nation, independent of the impositions of England. France also said, you know what? We also need a new order here. So if you go south of Virginia to Charlottesville and visit the house of Thomas Jefferson, Monticello, we will get to know much more of the importance of these independence in the United States to the world. If you go to George Washington's home, right here, there, Alexandria, right? Mount Vernon, right there near Alexandria. For those who know Alexandria, people talk about Alexandria all the time. It's nearby. If you go there, we will know how important it was for the world. And once France got rid of that lazy monarchy, selfish and brutal, many other nations started feeling that the United States became a role model. The independence of the United States didn't come easily. It didn't come like, oh, the angel came and said, oh, let's be independent. They had to fight. And there's great honor in doing so. Fighting for a cause bigger than us. It didn't come easily, as much as our inner independence doesn't come easily either. Let's ask ourselves, are we truly free inside of us? What is the king and the queen inside of our hearts that are imprisoning us in true impositions? What are our true enemies? Are they external to us? No. Our true enemies are inside of us. How many of us think that a neighbor is jealous of us and they made a spiritual work against us? In Brazil, we say macumba. Right? No. Do people do those things, Santeria, voodoo, and stuff? They do. But does it stick? Depends. If we're in the same frequency. That's why we need to go within and find this inner freedom. What is imprisoning us? The old conditions. Go to Netflix. People usually watch Netflix, right? Go there and watch Queen Charlotte, the Bridgerton show. And you watch and say, man, that's me 200, 300 years ago. We can easily see ourselves there. If we can't, watch time and again until we say, oh my gosh, I was that gossiping person, minding everybody's business but my business. Do you think everybody was like, what is his name, Brisley? Brisley, maybe. The guy who serves the queen. Yeah. Brisley, right? Yeah. He's so faithful. He sacrifices his needs for the needs of the queen and the nation. Do you think we were like him? Probably not. I wasn't, for sure. Because if we were that dutiful, probably we wouldn't be on planet Earth anymore. We're still here because we were likely the Lady Whistledown, creating commotion because she wanted to be somebody. Or we were the Duke of whatever, Hastings, whatever Duke it is, who thinks he's too much and holds grudges against his father. And he's acting up based on his instincts. So we're not humans yet. We're more animals than humans. or conveniences. Getting married out of convenience, or making arrangements, matchmaking out of convenience. I'm gonna make this to get married because it's convenient to me. That is a conditioning of the past. Or making business that are shady because I need to pay bills, and whatever it is, I need to make it happen. Those are inner characters in us that are still imprisoning us. We need to declare our independence. How can we do this? 2 steps, very simple, because Jesus said it's very simple. 1, we need self-awareness. If I don't know who I am, I cannot change anything. When George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, John Adams, and many others got together, they said, we are no longer the colony. They could see the new nation in front of them. Many people didn't see that. Many people were like, really, we're just a colony. We don't even have an army. Who are we? How many of us ask this question to us? Who am I? And I go to social media and I see people putting photos, smiling, and we think, oh, their grass is so green. Their lives are so easy. That's what you think. As a psychologist, I tell you, many cases of people I've seen who come to me crying the next day. They're posting photos as if they are the happiest day in their lives. And I ask them, why did you do this? You're putting your photos of that you're traveling, you're happy, and your marriage is failing you. And you are portraying yourself this way. Why? You want more envy onto you? Is that what you want? Don't pretend life is all good, because it's not. And you're making people miserable, making them feel that they are miserable, and you want happiness? That's not going to work. How many people put a face? And we need to tell our children and teens, don't use social media to tease people's envies. I remember in Baltimore, the Spiritual Start of Baltimore, like here in the Spiritual Start of Virginia, we have the fraternal counseling. We talk to people. And the Good Spirits Council, this lady, of course, we never see the name, but it's an example for us. She's young, she's beautiful, she's married, and she comes and says, I was just in a car accident. And I don't know what it is, but every time I travel with my husband, something bad happens. I need to know what it is. And I ask her, do you post your pictures on social media? Yes. Oh, so why do you do that again? Do you think people are at the beach watching your social media showing you at the beach? And they're saying, oh, I'm so happy for her. You think people will be happy for you because you have a vacation? You on Earth. On Jupiter, people would be happy because Jupiter is a better planet. On Earth, we think that we're going to travel, post on social media, and people are going to be happy. You know, and you want to be happy, yes. Teasing forces. So why do you do this again? Let's go back to Bridgerton. The people in the past were like this. Who was going to make the most beautiful party, the best ball of the season? Right? This is who we were. And in the United States, we have this crazy practice. We love the United States, but there are some things we need to finish. Housewarming. You buy a house and you invite everyone, friends and unfriends, enemies. So they see your house and you do a tour. And you think you're being so happy in that house. I wish somebody did a Netflix of this to show the before and the after. Right? A good show. People just have babies. They don't protect their babies. They start posting pictures and calling everybody as if a baby is a trophy and the baby cannot sleep. Why? Because the baby is not a trophy. Protect your baby. It's a sacred moment in that spirit's reincarnation. They're so sensitive. We can't use our children to show off because our children are not ours. If they are smart, God made them smart, not us. Oh, but it comes from mom's gene. Really? And who made mom's gene? God. So this pride in us, this ego is killing us. As much as the British were tormenting the American colony in the 1700s, we also have a king and a queen inside of us. Pride and selfishness. King and queen. Making us starve to death. Because we want happiness. Like the subjects in France, before the French Revolution. The kings and the queens were having their lavish parties in Versailles, while people didn't have bread. And somebody said, we need to put a stop on this. Was it easy? No. Is it easy for us to see that inside of us? No. So first of all, we need to see that. If we want to be free of our vices and addictions, you know where vices and addictions come from? They come from our pride, our selfishness. Because then we become lazy. I don't want to work. I don't want to study. I don't want to make much effort in life. Run to our addictions. That king and that queen inside of us, pride and selfishness, they kill us in our relationships. Because then we want to be served. As we saw for the homeless. They don't want the cup that is already there. They want a freshly served cup. The king and the queen, pride and selfishness inside of us. And they don't care that there is a line of people. They come here and say, but I want 2 cornbreads, like a lady said yesterday to me. But you already came here, you're eating the hot dog. Oh, but I want 2 more. 2 more pieces of cornbread. Why don't you go to the line? Oh, but I said, go to the line. People are going to be upset with you. I told her, people are going to be upset with you. You don't want that, do you? Please go to the line. Some people we can't talk like this because their rational mind is off. Their midbrain, the reptilian part of our brain, is fired up. They're ready to battle. And we're just going to say, stay here. We'll discreetly give you the iced tea, another cup. Trying to minimize the chaos. How many times inside of us, friends?
the lady that asked for the ice,
The cornbread.
she cut the line.
And then
She
she
don't
went
even
there
go
and
to the
cut.
back.
I'm like, Mamma mia, what can we do? But how many times we cut the line inside of us? And that's why we can't sleep. Why in our day-to-day lives we hear more than often that children can no longer sleep well. I ask our children inside, what time do you sleep? At 9, they look at me like, are you crazy? And I said, oh, at 7? No! Do you mean 9:30? No. 10? No! They think 10 is early. And then it's 11, 12, and they say 1 a.m. What do you do? Phone. If people are architects, we say, start designing homes with phone boxes. Okay? Phone boxes, so parents can lock them up for their children so they can't use it. Don't let your children go by themselves and use the phones, tablets, computers. They'll be upset. You hug them as I hug my daughter and say, I do it because I love you. I love you so much, you don't deserve to be hostage to this. We adults have a hard time managing social media, managing our electronics. Imagine our children. They don't have the prefrontal cortex mature enough. We can't blame them for this. So we need to help them. And we're doing them a favor. I know it's hard. It's super hard. But we need to tell them every day, make good choices. Make good choices. And a good explanation is this. Our minds are like a photo album. You know, we don't use photo albums anymore, right? Unless you get married. Unless you have a child, then you have time in between breastfeeding to take pictures, send them away, and organize in a photo album. But remember photo albums, right? When we had them. Now we have them all digitally. This is our minds. Everything we think, we feel, we say, and we do is a living picture in our photo album. In the Spirit book, Kardec asked, in the Law of Freedom, third part of the Spirit book, when are we absolutely free in our thought? But to solidify this freedom, we need to know what to do with our experiences. So we can tell our children and ourselves, everything you watch, those shorts on YouTube, right? Children love this, shorts on YouTube. They just scroll up and down. See, those, they are registered. They become living images. So is this it? Is this your mental field? Full of YouTube shorts? And then you want to be so smart. Not that we don't learn, because we can learn certain things there. But is this it? We don't read anymore? We don't talk to people anymore? And more society is hostage to antisocial skills. More and more people are antisocial. I've seen schools in which you have a recital. The recital ends. The owner, the principal of the school, in 5 seconds they're gone. Nobody greeted anybody, said anything to anybody. Where are we again? What is this? We can't say thank you, good to see you, shake hands anymore. And no wonder the children don't know any social skills. Hmm?
You know how to text.
They don't have to text.
Textual sign.
Yeah. And dating in the young generation is this texting. Because when they're together, they don't know what to do. Unless they go straight to that, we know. But they don't know in between texting and sex what to do. Huh? Seriously. In the center, we studied last year the book Sex and Life by Emmanuel Chico Xavier. And we know that there are steps for us on how. Everything now is texting. We feel comfortable texting, but we feel uncomfortable looking at people in the face. So we need to know who we are. Are we going to be like Penelope? I understand Penelope, season 3 of the Bridgerton. I understand her. It was hard for women at the time. They couldn't travel. They couldn't be anything. They were only somebody if they got married. Fine. So she started writing to be somebody. Do I need also, like Penelope, to create a new persona behind my computer, behind the gadgets, to be me? No, no, no. We tell our children, we're going to have dinner, not in front of TV, not watching anything, looking at each other in the face. Who are you? They don't even know who they are, but do we know who we are? So the first step to freedom is to create our identity, to know who we are, like the founding fathers and mothers of our nation. They said, we'll be a nation. And people are like bullying them. The British were brutal. They were bullying us here, saying, a nation. And they fought until 1814. The battle ended in Baltimore. After burning the city of Washington, D.C., people say they could see the fire from Baltimore, Maryland. And it took a powerful army in Baltimore, Maryland, to counterattack and seal the independence. It didn't happen all of a sudden in 1776 with a beautiful Declaration of Independence. It took decades to solidify it. Lives died. People died. And we had to persist. So when people come to our fraternal council and say, it's so hard to overcome my addiction. Yes, it is hard. But keep fighting. It is hard to stay married. Yes, it is, but keep fighting. It is hard to study. Yes, keep studying. When our children come to us and say, oh, I'm not good at math, it's a classic. But what do you know of math to know it's hard? You barely know of it. You tried once. I know we depend on good teachers, and not always we have good teachers. But sit down. Let's practice every day a little bit. You're going to love math. I've taught statistics in college, and I tell you, at first people were scared, and then they start loving statistics. It all depends on effort and, John, repetition. Who says it? Dr. Andre Lewis in the book Evolution in Two Worlds. That book is a classic to teach us that we only evolve through effort and repetition, effort and repetition, effort and repetition. So who am I? You know, the greatest strategies of the bad spirits to defeat us is to come and say, who are you? That question may bring us down, and we may start thinking, yeah, who am I? I don't know, Narciso is great, but who am I? I know Felipe is great, but who am I? No, no, no. You know the best answer? We are children of God. Right? Because of spirit, as we know, John. We are children of God, and then we say to them, I'm a child of God, like you. But who are you, Vanessa? A child of God like you. Meaning, I have potential. I progress always, I never regress. But I may be stagnant. We don't want to be stagnant. And that's why we love the United States of America time and again, because it's the land of freedom and progress. Here we love to progress. Nothing stays the same in this country. It's a land of changes, constant changes that pushes us to changes. And that's the destiny of this country. We belong to it, and we need to join the mindset because it says in the book On the Way to the Light by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier that this country is the brain of the planet according to the Christ's designs. And as a neuroscientist, I say the brain is so beautiful. The brain commands in harmony, not in oppression, but in harmony. We're going to get there. Of all nations in this world, the United States is the most generous nation to date. Is the nation that donates the most, that gives the most. People need to know those numbers. And if we're here, we need to value it. And just like the formation of the United States, we need also to be aware of our potential. Who could tell in 1776 that in the 2000s it would be the dominant nation on earth? Nobody knew. But why did it succeed? It's God's designs plus effort and repetition. We're only good at something we make effort and repeat every day, like Michael Phelps, the greatest athlete of all times. If you ask him, he was swimming every day for 8 hours. 8 hours. And he says, while people were partying, enjoying their lives, he was swimming, breaking his own record every day. Friends, almost 30 medals. It's unprecedented in the history of sports. Like Cristiano Ronaldo in soccer. Okay, Portugal is out of the Euro Cup, but Cristiano Ronaldo is the unique soccer player, so professional, so disciplined, so focused. He's an example for us of effort and repetition. Scientists, when we see people who are scientists, who are dedicating their lives to the progress of sciences, some of them, they wake up, their breakfast is science. They have lunch, science. I remember moving to the United States, being a postdoctoral fellow at the University of Maryland. And I'm like, I was going home. My apartment was nearby, walking distance. My boss a week later said, where do you go at lunch? Home. Why? I want to have lunch at home. I'm Brazilian. And he said, no, but here we have lunch in the office, in front of the computer. I said, oh my gosh. People are really focused on what they're doing. And today we have to make an effort not to do the same. Because people are focused. And when you see brilliant minds, like I met the great Kandel, a Nobel Prize, a neuroscientist. You talk to him and you see his daily life in New York. He's married, has children, grandchildren, but eating science day and night. He sleeps science, he eats science. Missionaries leading humanity to a new level. He's fully aware of who he is. Nobody told him, Eric Kandel, you will be a Nobel Prize winner. No, His dream was to be a scientist, a real scientist. Nobody's going to tell us who we are. Though people are expecting that people will define us, people cannot define us. Even to our greatness. We're the only ones shaping our own minds. Once we are aware of it, then we have a program designed by the Christ, the gospel, to shape us, to achieve our destiny as co-creators with God, in harmony. To wrap up, General George Washington could have used his riches for himself, like many at his time did. There were other people who were very wealthy. They didn't give their wealth to create this nation. They didn't want to invest on it. They were afraid. Fear is an enemy. But General George Washington said he wasn't a general per se. He became one. He wasn't the president. He became one. John Adams, as a lawyer, then our second president, he had to learn how to step up to that new plate. Nobody told him, you'll be the next president. He made himself. At a time in which he gave up the comfort of his home, of his great marriage, because unlike others, he had a very good marriage to Abigail Adams. He gave up the comfort of his family, of his home, of his practice to mind the general good. And so did Ben Franklin, and he was already in his later years. He also gave up the comfort of his already respected and reputable position here as an inventor, 10,000 things, to fight for a possible improbable cause, which was to make the United States independent. People who were looking from the outside, they were like, that's not going to happen. You're kidding me? They don't even have an army. Who are they? Just a mere colony. And great minds like Thomas Jefferson, who created the University of Virginia, great minds use their genius to benefit everybody. Question for us, isn't this the plan of the Christ? And there are people who come to the Spirit Center and dare to say, but Vanessa, I need the financial resources. I need this. And you think nobody else does? So if we want to be free of the tormenting king and queen inside of us, selfishness and pride, we need, as soon as possible, to focus on the collective well-being. That is Jesus' gospel, the plan. That's how we seal our independence. Because the day we discarnate, our conscience is going to ask. It's question 621 of the Spirit's book by Kardec. We have all God's laws in there. Nobody's going to ask us but ourselves. What have you done with your influence? Oh, I bought my apartments. I had my family. And you think that that mere thing is what we are here to do? No. Oh, really? What about the people who are suffering? Oh, I gave some food on Christmas Day. But I had my problems too. Okay, so reincarnate a million times again till you understand that God didn't create us to take care of ourselves alone. God created us so we could help one another. So today we bow our heads to all the founding fathers and mothers of the United States, for they set a moral example for us. A moral example, an example of leaving their comfort and using all the resources they had at hand to create this nation that today is our home. Quite comfortable comparing to the world. So our inner independence depends on dethroning our pride and selfishness. Friends, let's meditate on this and do everything we can to help people who are in greater need than us. Sometimes they are in our very families. Sometimes it's in our neighbors. Sometimes people at work. Sometimes people elsewhere. But we can't indulge in not doing anything and just minding our lives, feeling sorry for ourselves. In the book Nosso Lar, André Luiz says that when we feel self-pity, we are entering mental illness. We have to be careful. Poor me? No, no, no. Great, all of us. Let us feel this as we prepare ourselves for the passage. Okay, friends? Let us prepare. So let us feel the presence of the loving and kind spirit doctors, nurses, and therapists. They are here to deliver the energy medicine that we need to help us, to help our families. Let us open ourselves in gratitude so they can perform and fulfill God's will. Let us visualize the loving spirit doctors in front of us, applying the energy medicine that we need for the mind and the bodies, and helping one another by visualizing flowers of healing being distributed to everyone. Let us visualize Jesus, our best friend, always here with us. His smile, His loving arms, His loving heart, enveloping us in peace and harmony. Let's visualize Jesus, our best friend. Jesus with us. And we're feeling his heart full of light, enveloping us in strength, peace, and harmony. Okay, friends. so good to feel the presence of the nurses, the therapists in the spiritual realm, coming here to deliver flowers of peace. They give us these flowers so we can also share one of them with somebody in our lives we need to reconcile with. Let us visualize Master Jesus with us, and we are offering flowers of reconciliation to those whom we need to be at peace.
Let us now connect in one voice for our final prayer. As we raise our thoughts to our Creator, dear loving God, our Father, source of love to the universe, we are created by you. And we know, dear Father, that you have a beautiful plan for each one of us. We pray that we can liberate ourselves from the shackles of the past, to embrace this reincarnation, this blessed opportunity to proclaim our inner independence, to work in ourselves so that we can share your love with everyone around us. We pray with our hearts full of gratitude for all of those who at this very moments don't have access to this nourishment, so that they can find helping hands in both realms. We pray for the spirits who are being treated and rescued in the spiritual hospitals. And we pray for everyone that we encountered this week, that we can be an instrument of your love, of your peace, sharing your joy of living. Grateful for these moments of nourishment for our souls, and with our hearts full of gratitude, we ask for your permission to close this session of this morning, and so be.